Hi, it's Dave Matson. Welcome to our negotiating program. You know, in my opinion, we're negotiating all the time. We negotiate with our family, we negotiate with our coworkers, we negotiate with our employers, and even with ourselves. Our journey through our negotiating program will begin with the types of different buyers that you're going to run into. All buyers are not created equal. So what are their strategies? How can you identify them? And then also, how can you counteract them? We're going to then move on to understanding the points of leverage. There are different points of leverage throughout the negotiation process, whether it's need or time or emotion. We're going to help you identify what they are and then what you can do to minimize the leverage from the buyer side and maximize your leverage as the seller. We're also then going to talk about concessions. You know, negotiations, you're going to want concessions, they're going to want concessions. So how do we deal with that? How do we make sure that we're going to minimize the amount of concessions that we're going to give up and that we've maximized the concessions that we want from our buyer? How do we do that? Well, one of the things that we're going to share with you is how to prepare for a negotiation. How do you do it? You just don't show up and wing it. You don't do that in sales. You don't do that in negotiation. We're going to help you identify all the areas that you should focus in on before you go in and negotiate. Then we're going to tie in, how does the sales process affect negotiating? See, my opinion is negotiation is a result of something that probably went wrong in the sales process. So we'll tie all the Sandler selling tactics and strategies into the negotiating program. Now, if you're not familiar with the Sandler selling system, then we'll make sure that we ground those tactics and strategies. We'll give you the background. We'll show you how to use them and why they're effective. Last, we're going to cover the gambits. What do people do in this negotiation process that kind of throw you off guard when they bring somebody into the negotiating at the last second? Or when they're signing, they lean over and say, hey, would you throw in X, Y, and Z? Or they flinch, or whatever they're going to do. The first thing is to have awareness. What are those? Are those moves? Lots of times you don't even understand that that is a pre-thought out move on you. So what are they? And what can I do to minimize the impact if they're done to me as the seller? Throughout the process, we're going to be dealing with attitudes, behaviors, and techniques. Just like the success triangle is very important in the sales process, it is too in the negotiating process. So, welcome to the journey through the negotiating process, how you can become a better negotiator.